Everybody, I'm Kelly Hogan. Welcome back to my Zero Carb Life. I am joined today by one of my Wednesday morning group members, Janine. And Janine just shared in our group meeting yesterday that she is a 4-month carnivore, and she shared how her 4 months have been going. And I said, oh my word, Janine, I have chills. I wish you could tell this to more people. And she said, okay, I'll do it. And I said, could you do it tomorrow? She said, I'll do it tomorrow. I was like, awesome. Hi, Janine. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Kelly. I really appreciate you asking.
Yes. So part of the reason, everybody, that I thought this would be a great thing to have a newer carnivore. Y'all know I've had some people on who have been doing this for years, and I love to hear from those folks because I remember how important it was when I first started to look down the road and to see, okay, so these people are still doing great. But January is almost here. We're days away from January. And I bet there are going to be some brand new carnivores or people who right now at almost January are thinking, oh, I feel so stuck. What am I going to do in 2026 to fix this mess? So I thought, let's have on a newer carnivore. What brought you to carnivore, Janine?
The primary reason would be like my GI issues. I had been really suffering for a long time with that. The IBS thing started, when I was 19 or so, and I'm 62. So, majority of my life.
Yeah.
However, the last year and a half or two, it really ratcheted way up to another level that was pretty much kind of dysfunctional. And I really struggle through the day to day in life. And I thought, is this really going to be my lot in life? Like, is this where we are from now on? And it was, physically, and then it just really got to me emotionally. I'm also a breast cancer survivor, and that was in 2012. I've had a lot of different surgeries in total. I think maybe 14 or 15 surgeries of various kinds. My body's been through a lot, and I thought, well, okay, this is just, the fallout from that. And I really had just gotten so tired of just feeling so like bloated and cramping, and I just couldn't function. Anytime I ate or even drank water, my stomach would get huge. I had to go and buy new wardrobe just to accommodate this stomach situation. And so I hired a dietitian to help me through all this, that had the experience with IBS and GI issues and things like that. And she's a really sweet girl, and she's smart, but she was taught a certain way, right? So during the course of the 1 year working with her, I gained 10 pounds and I got pre-diabetes. So
Oh,
that wasn't really a lot of help, but I learned a lot along the way. And then I tried various supplements. And as I was telling you in the group yesterday, it got to the point where I had like a double tiered, turntable thing on my kitchen counter, falling over all the very expensive supplements that really weren't doing anything. And I started to feel like a patient. I just felt like I was a slave to my supplements. And, some you take before you eat, some you take after. I mean, it was just like constantly on my mind, and my body was reacting all the time. And this was just, you're doing your basic, balanced meal, balanced plate, the grains, the vegetables, the fruit, the protein, all these things. And I thought I was cooperating. I'm very compliant because I want to feel well. And so I just thought that I was doing what I was told to do, and I was just getting sicker and sicker. I went to an integrative medical practice, and she had done my blood work. And I went back to see her to get the results. And after all this time of doing what I thought was a healthy eating plan and, all this stuff, she told me that I was pre-diabetic. And I was so discouraged, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm doing all these things, and she's like, it's okay. This is what we're going to do. Wear a CGM. We're going to try that out for like 10 days. You can kind of get an idea of, like a tool. Just, she was really very kind about it. So I was like, okay. So I went and I tried it out. My first meal wearing my CGM, I had like a protein bowl, salmon, and, but it also had carbs in it, all that stuff, right? And so I went from like a normal blood glucose of 87 before I ate, and in 10 minutes it shot up to 253. And I know, and my phone was beeping at me like critical and rising. And I was like, oh, okay. I pushed the plate away and I was like, well, I guess I'm not having that anymore. Like now what do I do? Like, where do I go from here? Like, I don't know what else to eat. So my friend who had done keto, she's like, you got to try this. I'm like, okay. So I tried it. And, it was going well. And I kept thinking, like, there's got to be more. I think I could do more to feel better. And I found that the habits that I was starting to have eating that way, it was giving me too much leeway. And I was like eating, some of your favorite things, like, the old thing, like peanut butter, and it was just way too much, all that type of stuff, right? And so I thought, okay, well, let's dial it back. What else can I do? And then I thought to myself, well, you know what? Like, I'm really just eating meat and eggs and fat. So I guess I'm a carnivore. It was kind of like that. And I said to my husband, who is definitely a meat guy, he's like the grill master guy. I was like, babe, what do you think about being a carnivore? He's like, you don't even have to finish your sentence. Like, I'm so in. And I was like, good, because I want to do this with you. He needs to take care of his health as well. So I actually had first found you through a podcast when you were interviewed by Dr. Philip Ovadia, I think you pronounce it, a heart surgeon. I thought, well, if a heart surgeon's carnivore, like, I'm listening. And then I found the other doctors because, we're kind of trained in our life to pay attention to doctors. So I went through Dr. Barry and Dr. Chafee and Sean Baker. And so I was like, okay, I started listening, but you really drew me in, Kelly. Like, and I was listening to that interview with Dr. Ovadia, and I was like, I like this girl. And all the things that you shared. And I was like, then I went to your YouTube channel and I was just like, I need to hear more. And so then I just watched, and I was so inspired by the people that were doing what you're doing that I was like, okay, if they can do this and it's helping them in their health, I have to give this a try. I need to change my health. I want to feel well. So I love to serve others. And it's a little hard to do that when you can't even really get out of bed. And I know that there's situations like that for people. And I know that we can still do what we can do,
Right.
with what God gives us. But I just knew that there was something that could help, then I want to try it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you said so many things. Well, first of all, I was thinking yesterday in the meeting while I was listening to you. Oh, I like that girl. So it's fun that we get each other. That's great
Yeah.
to hear. I love that this doctor or practitioner set you up with a CGM. And
Yeah.
I think for someone that is still having a lot of carbs or glucose issues, it can be such a powerful tool. So much more than, okay, we'll change your eating and we'll see you in 3 months. And
Yeah.
then we'll see if you fix the A1C issue. It's like, yeah, but show them with every single meal what's happening.
Yeah.
When you said a protein bowl, was it also rice and veggies with
Yes.
it? Okay.
Rice, black beans, salmon, a little bit of spinach, some pieces of mango, and some pistachios.
Okay.
I
So,
remember specifically because I thought, this is a good choice, like this is good stuff. It's healthy. And, how could this be hurting me? And, the CGM is such a great tool because we don't know what's going on in our body. But when I got such a strong reaction so quickly, I was like, okay, this isn't good for me. Like, what else can I do? And once I started to kind of figure that out and get educated, listening to your channel and other people, and just making these changes, and I read a lot, and I started making these changes, my body responded really, really well. And within 3 months, I went back to get more blood work, and I went to see that same practitioner, and I purposely kind of put myself together like really nicely because I wanted her to see that all the work that she had put into trying to help me, because she really cares so much, that it was reflected in how I was
oh,
feeling now. Because I
yeah.
was like, I know that you put a lot of love and care, because she's integrative, and it's not your typical practice, and actually they're believers as well. And so I just really wanted to kind of show up well for her. And she looked at her screen and she looked at me, she goes, Janine, your lab work is perfect. And I was like, what? Like, are you kidding me? And I was like, tell me. Like, and so I was like writing it all down. And she's like, your A1C went from 5.9 to 5.3. Your insulin went from 9.2 down to 5.6. Your glucose was 92. It's now 76. And then I had my blood pressure was normal. Whereas before I had had them say, do you have a cardiologist? I mean, it was
Oh,
kind of scary, and I had massive inflammation. Like, you could barely see my eyes. My face was so puffy, and I was just, so inflamed. It's just really been a game changer. And then for my GI issues, I mean, literally, I would drink water and my stomach would get like distended and cramping, and I'd have to go lay down. I was falling asleep while I was having my meals. It was horrible. And so now when I eat, there's no difference in my stomach from before when I ate to after I ate. And I'm like, this is so unusual, but I like it. I'm down 15 pounds in the 4 months. And I mean, I tried to lose 10 pounds in a year and I gained 10 pounds. So that is a big deal. So with the inflammation and everything, I'm down like 2 sizes. I'm just feeling so much better in my body. I already was doing Pilates quite a bit, but now I'm walking a lot as well. You inspire me to walk. I'm sleeping better. I'm doing the things that you're suggesting. It's just really kind of coming together for me. So I'm just really grateful. I just really am.
I'm so happy you're willing to share it.
Yeah.
You were trying so hard. You said I was compliant because I wanted to be out of pain. I
Yeah.
wanted to feel better.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I was a good little soldier before
Yeah.
that. Y'all think I'm a good carnivore. I was good at whatever I was trying diet wise because I was hurting and I
Yeah.
was desperate. Now, granted, I couldn't always stick to diet plans because, for heaven's sakes, we were starving, Janine.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some, you can't do rice cakes and running for months and months and months
Right.
until eventually hunger wins.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
on this diet plan, well, we hope hunger wins
Right.
because we need people to eat meat.
Yeah.
So you started, would that have been around August when you switched
Yes.
pure
Yeah.
animal products?
Like the middle of August or so. So it has been 4 months, like pretty much exactly. And yeah, it's been a huge game changer for me in every way. So I pretty much eat all different kinds of animal products, and seafood and eggs and a little bit of dairy. I had started off with probably way too much cheese because, it's like that yummy crutch. And for my body, I just felt like it caused a little bit more inflammation, and the weight was a little more stubborn. I was getting a little bit more bloated. And so I really just have like occasional heavy whipping cream. The other thing is I used to drink coffee quite a bit, like every day, 1 to 2 or more cups of coffee a day. And it would be like the first thing, wake up, go to the bathroom, get your coffee. And so now I don't do that. I'll have maybe 1, maybe 2 cups in a week. And yeah, and I'll have a little heavy whipping cream in there. But I'm just finding that that works better for me. Breakfast is usually eggs and bacon, but it could be, maybe leftover steak and an egg or a burger patty and an egg or maybe sometimes if I'm rushed, I'll just make a whole bunch of bacon and, eat it like while I'm getting ready or leaving. So it just depends, but it's animal products. And it's the butter, tallow, things like that.
How many
Yeah.
times do you tend to eat on just a normal day?
I was doing two because I'm doing intermittent fasting, but I'm finding that I need to have the 3 meals a day. And so I just have smaller meals. So that works out better because then I'm hitting my macros, even though I'm not trying to be obsessive about, tracking. But I just wanted that baseline that you talk about, just to make sure that I'm getting my needs met. And so I really wasn't going to be able to do that if I wasn't eating 3 times a day. And I was like, why am I trying to? I mean, I don't need to be a superhero. Like if I need to eat, I'm going to eat. It's like, so I basically have the 3 meals a day, and I make my own jerky now, my own beef jerky. And so we got a dehydrator, and once a week, and I call it purse jerky. So I put jerky in a baggie, and it's always with me, and I share it with others. And I put a little bit of the Redmond's real salt on there, and then that's pretty much the only seasoning I do. And I actually have little tiny ones in my purse, and I bring them with me when we go out. a lot more doable than a lot of people would think. They're like, isn't that restrictive? I'm like, are you kidding? I get to eat all this really delicious food. And yeah, and then I don't like you talk about FOMO versus JOMO, right? So it's like the fear of missing out versus the joy of missing out. So I keep that in the forefront of my mind. Like, I don't want to go back to feeling so miserable anymore. So I have the joy of missing out on all of that, all of the things that, not being able to go to the bathroom, my stomach hurting, the cramping, the mood that was so, down from feeling like this, and the extra weight that I was carrying that I couldn't get off, and then the blood glucose numbers, and blood pressure high, and just all of that, right? And so I just thought, no, I really want to take care of this body that God gave me. It's been through a lot, and I want to I want to be a good steward of it. This is what's working for me, and it's not a diet like that we would go on and off and on and off. It's real food, and it works.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love you.
I love you too.
So when people ask, "Oh, that isn't that restrictive?" It's like the IBS was restrictive.
Oh yeah.
The having you said you had to have different sets of clothes based on
Yeah.
whether or not your belly looked like you were,
Yeah.
distended, and
Yeah.
that's restrictive.
Yeah.
For me, having to stay at home to pack gauze in
Mm.
where I'd had these boils
Yeah.
lanced open, that's restrictive.
Right.
Eating all amazing, delicious animal products,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
that's not restrictive either. And I
I
love
agree. I agree. I mean, I've missed parties because of my stomach issues. I'm like, I can't leave the house. What am I going to wear? I don't feel comfortable, or, that kind of thing. And so I'm like, that's really restrictive. Someone said to me, they're like, well, wait a minute. You don't eat fruits or vegetables? I'm like, no, they were trying to kill me. Like, I can't.
that.
No. So like, that's not good for me. And so I just want to eat what tastes good. That's good for me. And this is what is working. So I don't want to go back to how it was.
I don't know if you saw, but Coach Nanette in our group had written a post about how much she loves the way children respond. If you were to ask a child, like, "Oh, why'd you choose the color red?" They do not try to back up with research why the color red is best. Why, Annie, my youngest daughter, why are you so into dinosaurs? Oh, well, I will try to tell you why it is the best of all interest. They don't care. They will
Because I
say,
like it.
"Cause I like it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I like it, because it's fun, because I want to. That's it.
Right.
They would be so confused if anyone asked follow-up questions like,
Right.
"But is it the most popular? Is red the most effective color for?"
Right.
We
You're
don't
like,
care.
I don't
So
care.
as adults, when someone at a party says, "Oh, I see are you only eating meat?" I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine. And we feel this need to educate, which we can when we feel like it. We feel a need to defend our choices, to prove
Hmm.
it. And Nanette was
Yeah.
saying, let's just be more like a child and go, because it's good
It's
and I
good.
like it. It
Yeah.
makes me happy. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's right. We don't ask other people like, why are you eating that, whatever, fill in the blank, like that's not my business. Like you want to eat it, go and eat it, but I've had the best results on this health wise than I've had on anything else that I've ever tried to do health wise with my body. And so it's so effective, and it's not something like I'm just going to go on and go off. You know what I mean? Like we've talked about that before in our group. Like, would you do that with anything else? It's like that's working for you, Would you stop giving your pet the food that they need, just because, oh, it's December, like we have to get through the holidays. You're like, no, this is just what we do. It's what we eat. When I sit down and I have a really nice ribeye with the fat cap, I'm like, I'll take that first part. I'm like, this is so good. Like, why wouldn't I want this? I'm finding that I had been the undereater, the Una undereater that you talk about.
Yeah.
And I have struggled with that because it's like ingrained in us, right? Like, move more, eat less, and it's like, okay, I'll do whatever you say. But it was causing me to gain weight and to feel crummy. So I have used your TDEE that you use in the coaching, and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit unnerving. Like, I can't believe I'm going to go up to this amount of calories, but I've actually gone above my maintenance calories and I'm still losing weight. And it's not every day, but I mean, it's like, I'm hungry today, so I'm going to eat. And I'm like, wow, my pants are even looser. That is so peculiar, but I like it. I'm like, it all makes sense now.
Why didn't anyone tell us, Janine?
Right, right.
It is
And I kind of
frustrating.
had to work through that too because, look, God is sovereign. He had me go through all these things. And a way I look at it is like there's a verse in Second Corinthians talking about the things that we have to go through that maybe we'll be able to comfort others in their affliction as well. So this is one of the reasons that I wanted to go on with you is because if there are people that are suffering from some of these issues, if I can be if I had to go through this myself and suffer through what I had to in order to help somebody else and they can watch this and maybe they're going to be like, well, if this helped her, maybe it'll help me, then hey, that was so worth it because I have felt that same way about so many other people that you've interviewed that I've watched these videos and I'm like, wow, look at how much it's helped her. That motivates me, that inspires me, that blesses me, like encourages me. I want to be able to do that for someone else.
And there have been many things in life where I think, what if I hadn't had GI issues? What if I hadn't had weight struggles and hadn't had fertility issues and anxiety and certain things had just come easily, which I don't believe anyone lives a life of everything is
Yeah.
always just right. But because we went through it, then you're right. You can reach out to somebody else and say, oh my gosh, I had IBS too.
Right,
And then
right.
you're in it together. And next thing you know, the two
Exactly.
of you are on a YouTube video talking about it.
Right, right. And it's like I said, I had to work through the fact that I was a little bit angry at first. Like, why didn't any of these doctors tell me this? Why didn't the dietitian tell me this? Could have saved me so much, pain and suffering. But again, like I said, God is sovereign and it all worked out the way he wanted it to. But there was that moment of if it was this simple and I didn't have to go through all that, like, why didn't anyone say? So I really want to tell people, I want to encourage them and say, give this a try. If you've tried so many other things and you don't feel well, or you have that weight that's not coming off, or you don't have the energy, or whatever the case is, just give this a try. And, within a couple weeks, I actually started to notice big changes. It happened pretty quickly. And so like, why not give that a try and see, and I do tell my friends that I tell about carnivore, I say like, give it 90 days, but even 30. Can we just even do 30? Just try that and see if it doesn't help you with some of your autoimmune issues or, stomach problems or whatever it is, or the last 20 pounds you want to lose or something. Like, how does it help your clarity? My memory is a lot better now. And because, I had chemo from my breast cancer. And so I was always like, oh, it's just chemo brain. Oh, it's just me getting older. But honestly, like my memory is better now. I'm thinking more clearly. I have more energy. My mood is up and it's just been great all the way around. So I really want that for other people too.
You don't have to wait till January, folks. I gave the example yesterday in the group. If I were to say about my dog, Millie, Millie is a
Yeah,
carnivore dog. If I were to say to y'all, December is crazy. I don't have time to feed this dog meat anymore. Not for right now. I'm just going to find what's in the pantry, throw some Cheetos in her bowl, call it a day. She doesn't
yeah,
have time. I don't have time to take this dog for a walk or get sunshine. I've barely filled up her water bowl. And y'all would be like, that is insane. You can't do
right,
that to a poor dog. But
right,
there's probably someone watching right now saying, I'm just going to wait till January.
right,
You matter today. My
right,
dog needs water today. She needs a walk today. She needs
yeah,
meat today. And so do we. And so do you. If you are watching, hear what Janine is saying. She was hurting for years. She now isn't. That's the whole point. And now she
right,
isn't. What more do
right.
you need to know, folks?
That's right.
And if they
Yeah,
were to start today, but let's see, all right, December is about over, but not quite. You can get
yeah.
started
We still have a
today.
little time. Yeah.
That's right. And then January, February, March, by the time spring even starts, they could be feeling so much better.
I think really before that, I mean, obviously I'm not a medical professional, but I'm just saying from my own personal experience and then the people that I've seen, and heard their testimonies, it seems to be happening fairly quickly. Now, not all things are going to resolve that way, but at the same time, it's like just even those little steps, like little bit, like one day I was walking at a certain rate, pace, and then I thought, I think I could do faster. And I did, and like a lot faster. And I was like, wow, that came out of the blue, but it was just kind of one of those things that just kind of ramps up and then you just take things to the next level. And you're finding that all of a sudden like, wow, I was only sleeping this much and now I'm sleeping this much, or I was waking up this many times and now I'm not, or these little things that just kind of improve the quality of your life. And it just starts with that one, just do one meal at a time or one day at a time or just whatever you can do. And the next thing you know, it'll just add up. I just want to say before we end, that I wanted to make sure that I thanked you again because God is really using you in such a mighty way in the lives of people because you really care. You're very genuine, and I can tell that your heart is to help people, and I identify with that. I really want to help people in whatever way I can, and I see that so much in you, and so that's why I think I was really drawn to you. And if people even knew, like being in your coaching group, and I've only been in 3 sessions, this is the real deal, 3 sessions. And I did sign up to do ongoing because I know it's going to be beneficial. But if they even knew the amount of work and that you have put in on the back end, beforehand, and all that you do each and every time to prepare, the things that you give us as part of a member of the group is priceless. It's so much. People, so they don't really realize how much work went in. Like your handbook is over 200 pages. And it's like, that is 20 years of your experience, and your heart. And so I just wanted to make sure that I told you that and that I publicly express that, because when people are watching your videos, they need to know who the heart of the person is behind the microphone, because I'm a good judge of character, and I can really tell that you've put so much of yourself into it and that you really want the best for people, and it really shows.
Janine, I didn't know you were going to say any of that, and I'm
It's true.
blushing under my makeup. Thank you so much. And I
It's,
can absolutely, I feel like I'm a good judge of character too, which is as soon as you spoke in the meeting, and it was probably what, 3 or 4 minutes tops, I
yeah.
felt immediately like, oh, I just get you. And I could
Mm,
tell you have a heart for helping people.
you
And
do.
you said, I just feel like being a carnivore evangelist and
Yeah.
maybe
Like everyone needs to know.
and a Jesus one too. And it's like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, if there's something that that will be a good thing for someone that will make their life better, and why don't you want to tell them? Like you want to tell them the truth in love. Like I know that who Jesus is, and I want you to know him too. And I know that this way of eating is beneficial, and so I want you to give it a try. It might work for you too. And so, obviously it's 2 different planes, but at the same time, it's like, I just want to help people. And if that's another way that I can help by sharing what experience I had and how it's benefited me, why don't you look into it for yourself too?
And I love your advice about just start simple. There's
Yeah.
always time for, ooh, let's look at your macros and track
Yeah.
and find your baseline and the TDEE. But if somebody is just starting off that first, say, 30 days,
Yeah.
literally it is as easy as if you can get everything out of your house, but certainly
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else but meat out of your
Yeah.
face, right?
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
just eat animal products that you
Yeah.
enjoy that
Right.
make you feel good. So if you were to note, ooh, I don't feel as good when I eat a lot of cheese, or I
Right.
do get bloated again with egg whites or something. Otherwise, as far as the rules go,
Yeah.
any animal product that
Right.
makes you feel good, and it's that easy.
Yeah. And then my husband and I, one day I said to him, well, there's no point in having all this other food because we're empty nesters now. So I'm like, there's no point in having all this food in the house. So we did it over like 2 days. I put like a big folding tables in the living room and the kitchen area. And we just opened up the pantry, the refrigerator, the freezer, the one in the garage. Like we just emptied everything out. And there was this young family at church that I'm like, do you want this food? And she's like, yeah. So I ended up giving her like, I don't know, 12 or 15 bags of groceries that we had accumulated. And if that's what works for them and they want to do that, then I'm happy to give it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not working for us. And so, now we have all the things that we need. We keep stocked up of what foods that we like, and we eat those. And it's working out really well for us. So, and my husband, he's down 15 pounds, and all these people, his face is so much thinner. And I've posted pictures of us going to places, like on Facebook or whatever. And all these people are commenting, like, wow, he looks really good. Like, has he lost weight? And I'm like, look at that, babe. Like, people are noticing. And, he's got more energy, and I can tell it's helping him quite a bit too. So,
Amazing. Janine, thank you. I feel quite certain that there will be folks who watch this who think, gosh, I'm having similar issues.
Mhm.
It only took her 4 months. It's not like you're here on your 4-year carniversary.
Right.
4 little short months, and you felt better even quicker than that.
Yeah.
The first month. And I hope it encourages somebody else. There is hope. There
Yeah.
is something you may not have tried yet, and it just might change your life. And it also tastes really good. So
Yeah.
thanks for spreading that word. And
Sure.
I'm excited to see your face again on Wednesday. Actually, this week we'll be meeting
Friday.
on a Friday because of the
Yeah.
holiday
Yeah.
schedule. But I'm so glad that I will be spending Wednesdays with you for a while.
I
So
know. I'm excited.
you
Same.
bring, you have brought fresh new joy to our
Oh,
group, and I'm grateful
thank
for
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. Same. Definitely. Love you, Callie. Appreciate you.
you. All right, everybody, we hope to see you back next Saturday. If you're willing to either give it a little like or a comment to tell Janine, thank you for sharing. It takes a lot of guts, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you. All right, bye,
Thank you.
everybody. See you next
Bye.
Saturday. All right, let's pray us out. Dear Father, thank you, God, for this awesome opportunity to share today. We pray that it does help someone. We pray that not just physically, but someone will also spiritually refresh their relationship with you. Bless those that hear this and use it to work good, regardless of our words, that you will work good. Lord, we love you and thank you for your many blessings in Jesus' name.
Amen.